Hi guys, Mr. Jaeger here, and welcome back to another channel update. Woo! And welcome to April, the fourth month of the year. We're almost at the halfway point. Almost. Well, we're about a month and a bit away, but you know what I mean. It's quite scary how quickly we're going through. And today I was going to do a channel update, giving you guys a bit of a heads up as to what's going on, as well as basically explaining kind of what happened with Hearts of Iron 4 and what's currently a bit of a conundrum for me at this moment. So, yes, if for any of you guys who haven't already, the last episode of Eagle's Revenge has aired. Yes, it's out. The last episode. I finished it. We have a finished series, and it was a bit anticlimactic. I won't lie. Like, this isn't the first time I've recorded this, so I'm going to try and see if I can shorten the story a bit, so you can at least appreciate the reasons why it ended the way it did. Because I will say it's probably not my best series. I don't think I feel like I've done the series, I've completed it, but it feels kind of bittersweet in that regard. So to summarize what went wrong with the series, or to cut a very long story short, basically I attempted to finish the series multiple times, three to be exact. And it all kind of stemmed around when I'd finished fighting off against Caesar's Legion, when I came around, outflanked Caesar's Legion and sort of had the not really much of a fight taking over the territory. And when NCR decided to declare war on me, I didn't have any population to refill my armies, and having done the really dumb thing of I will fucking never live that down. I feel at this point, deleting my armies out of frustration because I couldn't get a slight moral victory over NCR. In my saltiness, I deleted an army which probably could have been there, should have not deleted it. And it basically resulted in me having a sort of fighting a losing battle against the NCR because I had all the territory, but obviously it wasn't claimed, it wasn't cored, so I didn't have the population to replenish or to support and do whatever. I didn't have any air force. I was, playing with many hands tied behind my back, sort of thing. And it was never really going to work. So after attempting a couple of times to do it, I lost my patience, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to win this one. And so I thought, well, let's try and see if we can do a new kind of thing where I sort of let the enemy win, and I surrender to them, and they can take a bit of territory, and then I can work my way around that. I basically got dumped into a bottom right corner next to Unity of Austin and Lincolnites, which was like these two factions that I were within, walkable reach. But everywhere else within reach was either the Rio Pact faction or the NCR faction. And the NCR had basically taken all of my territory, not just a little bit that they were fighting for or whatever, all of my turf. And they said it just gave me a small little pittance in return. Really irritating. And so basically, I attempted at first I thought, well, you know what, let's try and try and see if we can recover from this. I ended up having to download a coring mod, which from the description and how it worked, it seemed like the sector in question, not it. Whenever I would click a particular province, I would call that said province, and it would allow me to claim the province for a lot less political power cost than the vanilla blues. So I thought, brilliant, this is going to work. And I gave myself a stipulation where it's like, well, I can core, but only if I've got 100% compliance and 100%, 0% resistance. So keeping it within the realms of old world blues, but just not having to pay through the roof for them. So I did that, and I cored two territories, and it was all fun. And so I got into a position where I attempted to attack Unity of Austin with my power armor, and I lost badly. And then I thought, right, okay, can't do it that way. How about if I do it with, how about if I use my power armor on the Lincolnites, who were mostly made out of ghouls? And although they outnumbered me by about 5 regiments, I thought, well, look, if I can outflank and do the stuff, then brilliant, I can do that. And I did, and I declared war. We declared war. We went round the flanks. I took out a couple of units, and it was looking really good. And then I stopped. And then the attack stopped working. And I'm like, why? Why is that not working? And it turned out the fucking NCR was giving them all of the volunteers. So not only was the NCR volunteering, but so was Vault City, so was a number of other things. So the army that originally was like 5 units bigger than me, with only ghouls, was now 20 units bigger than me, and they were all the tip-top snazzy-bazzy NCR stuff. So, against a very understrength nation with not really much resources or anything, I couldn't do it. So that was a bust, and I was like, for fuck's sake. And, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, I really don't want to have to deal with having another series that ends up failing because an update came out and it resulted in the game being lost. So that was at the back of my mind, constantly going towards it. So eventually I decided, you know what, I need to finish this series. I want to finish this series. This series is designed because I couldn't finish it properly. So I'm like, no, we're going to fucking do this. So I basically go back to where I started with the NCR war, and I use the coring territory with the intention of being able to fight the same battle. But unlike the first time where I couldn't afford the political power to core like a number of regions, because instead of, the coring cost for certain regions, even if they weren't that valuable, was still in over like 180 political power or 220 political power, like stupidly expensive political power cost, which, bearing in mind, you don't get political power in Old World Blues as fast as you do in vanilla Hearts of Iron. Like in vanilla Hearts of Iron 4, you can get it a lot faster, or you can utilize that. Whereas in Old World Blues, there's not that much. And with the way that the game was designed, with the way that things are going, political power is used a little bit more than other jazz. And I couldn't use the caps, which I should have mentioned as well. As you could see, as I mentioned in the series, the caps stopped working, so I couldn't use the fucking caps to a great effect because they weren't replenishing. So so it felt like the game was beginning to break apart. And so I decided, okay, you know what? Let's use the coring mod so I can use slightly less political power to be able to buy all of these things. And I thought maybe that'll do it. And then it cored the entire fucking territory. And I'm like, I'll take it. And so, yeah, we ended up winning. We ended up having a pretty good scrap. Now that, of course, I finally got the fucking the core territories for much less than they were valued. But at that point, I'm like, I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. So, we ended up having a big old scrap. And then eventually it resulted in the Rio Pact, for some reason, at the end of that war, having it literally tagged on the end, like Bloody America in 1918. And so, basically, I should have saved, because then we would have had something of a conflict between the Rio Pact, but I didn't. And so when I finally got back to that point, and then we had the same sort of scenario, I was expecting Rio Pact to declare war on me, and they didn't. And then it was the Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm like, okay. And then they basically took a shitload of terrain, even though I told them to fuck off. So I thought it would just be what have you. So, hey ho. And yeah, the series just kind of ended. I think the best way to describe it is we completed the series, but to put it more accurately, it just ended. We finished the objectives. We did all that we were required. We completed the minimum goal. And I feel like that is something that for that series I'm going to be happy with, but I will not say, well, happy would be one way of describing it. It's more I'm satisfied. It's like, no, we finished the series. I have finished it. It is not going to go away or fail like a number of other series have with fucking updates and all that jazz. So that's that sorted. Going back over now to the thing, I obviously, we have other things being recorded. We've got, of course, the Empire Total War, Battletech, which I'm trying to psych myself up to play so I can at least give it a bash. Things that will attempt to resolve things that I intend on doing and all that jazz. But still, the biggest thing in terms of content content-wise, is obviously the thing right now is I'm having problems sort of like figuring out what I want to do next, because the thing is, I don't want to just constantly do the same thing with Hearts of Iron 4, because while in the realms of Hearts of Iron 4, I tend to just stem to just one particular type of tactic, and it's like, for me, what I'm worried about is, is it going to be something that I'll always enjoy doing, or is it going to be something that I'll eventually get bored with? And the same thing goes for you guys as well. It's like, yeah, sure, you can enjoy me doing random bits of commentary, but eventually will you guys get bored of doing it? Because as much as it's a hobby for me to do this particular thing, this is also for you guys. You are the ones watching this. So, yeah, that's a bit of a thing I'm going to have to figure out how to do. Fun times. But what else, really? Well, I think the other thing I would say that the one thing that definitely, so like the thing is, I want to be able to have something that's slightly different, so it keeps things fresh and it keeps things enjoyable. Like, it's one of those weird things that it's like I'd like to have something that I could sink my teeth into and feel like I could really do well on, rather like really enjoying sort of engrossing myself in on, rather than something that you just sort of you go in, pinprick, and then come out sort of deal. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how best to proceed on that particular factor. I've got maybe a couple of ideas, but still, something in the realms is being worked on. Live stream wise, there isn't really any major differences. I think streaming is going to be, we're just going to roll with the streaming system at the moment, like what the schedule and everything as best as we can. Some episodes, some of the times I'm streaming later. I start out a bit later, and other jazz, and I will hopefully, I'll try and rein it in a bit, try and sort of work around it so I can get that shit done properly, and then obviously we can proceed on to other things as well. But still, again, right now I'm still just I'm dealing with some stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how best to make sure that you guys have good content, whilst also I'm in a position where I feel like I can do something rather than, for example, just fuck around and then then it doesn't work and then I just lose passion and whatnot. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I think I'll probably leave it off here. But to summarize what's going on, Hearts of Iron 4 is done and good, and we're going to take a slight break from that whilst I come up with something new. Empire Total War at the time of recording is going really well. I'm really enjoying how that's coming along as a series, and I'm looking forward to hearing your reactions to that. I'm already having people talk to me about what I'm doing in my series, and I'm like, yeah, I probably should explain some stuff. I'll respond to the comments on that one, so don't worry about that part. New stuff is on the way in terms of content. I'm not too sure what, but we will see. And apart from that, I'll just say that's pretty much it from me. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, whereupon I'm sure we'll be having some wondrous, I'm sure the next channel update will be even more crazy. It's like, hey guys, welcome to World War III. To be honest with you, I don't really want to say it now because I have a feeling it's going to be like that. Oh, God. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys. This is Mr. Jaeger signing out. Have a good one.